Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead of them and their companies. I'm your host, Olivia Salmons, and in each episode, we'll uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, I'm joined by Peter Dykema, the founder of CSU Coaching, a coaching practice dedicated to supporting leaders, social impact founders, non-profit executives, and individuals navigating personal and professional transformations. CSU blends leadership coaching, mindset work, professional healing, and value-driven guidance, helping clients not only build successful ventures, but lead and live from a foundation of clarity, integrity, and inner strength. Peter, welcome to Founders Future. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure to have you here, and I'm excited to dive into your journey and learn a little bit more. So typically with all of my guests, I do like to start at the beginning of their journey. So if you don't mind taking me back to what it was that you was doing before you started up CSU Coaching, and then from there, what was the motivation behind it?
Yeah, okay, great. What's taking back to where I started, basically, I was trained as a technical textile engineer and business. I studied business management as well. So my idea was to become a buyer for a fashion brand. I was a junior buyer for a year, and then I thought, no, this is not for me. Too detailed focused, not enough interaction with people in a sense. So there was mid 1990s, and the IT was booming. The companies were looking for people who had a good education and they could mold into their company in a sense. I started working for IBM, for a subsidiary of IBM, with the idea that I would become a programmer. Now, I did my training, and after the training finished, all my colleagues went off to coding jobs, and they asked me to get into a pre-sales role, which was completely out of the ordinary. I did that, then stayed in IT and in sales-related roles for about 20 years. And at some stage I worked for a large IT company, didn't like the way they dealt with their customers. I had been working with a lot of not-for-profit customers, and I thought I could do this better. I started my own company with a business partner, and we ran it for about 12 years. And in the meantime, I got an interest in coaching as well, because we were solving business problems for people. But in the end, the problems that we really solved were people problems. So it all starts with a business is nothing without people in it. And I gravitated more to that. I got coached myself by some people in the Netherlands. I'm originally from the Netherlands. And I tried to find some similar coaches in Australia, where I live in Melbourne in Australia. And I couldn't find them. So then I thought, okay, now if I can't find them, there's a gap in the market, and I need to be that person myself. So I started a coaching training, and and you could say the rest is history. But it wasn't really, because I started just before COVID hit here, and I finished my coaching training in January 2020. And in February 2020, they started lockdowns here in Melbourne. So all my training was around one-on-one coaching, face to face. And I thought, this is not going to work, is it? So there was a little bit of a kink in the cable, but I soon joined a program that was founded by a gentleman who unfortunately has passed, but he had an initiative for coaches to coach pro bono for not-for-profit organizations.
Wow.
So I coached a number of people around the world through that initiative, and it really lit my fire to coach not-for-profit leaders, because what I see is that a lot of not-for-profit leaders, they burn out, they are overwhelmed, they give a lot of themselves, but don't look after themselves.
Wow.
So that's a little bit of my journey in a sense.
Beautiful. So a lot of like twists and changes and figuring out where you want to go and trying a lot of stuff, which I think is really incredible because it can draw a lot of experiences like moving forward. And then sticking with helping nonprofit leaders, which is beautiful because as you say, they are often overlooked, overworked, and just tend to focus on everyone else rather than themselves. So giving
Yeah.
back to them like that. And then so let's dive into what CSU coaching looks like today then. So Walk me through what would it be like to work with you? How is it that you support people and what offers do you provide to them?
Yeah, I work more on a holistic way with leaders. There's a lot of leaders or coaches that work on a behavioral level or an accountability level.
Yeah.
When somebody comes to me and says, I need an accountability coach, then I generally say, then I'm probably not the right coach for you. I'm happy to put you in touch with someone else because I want to go a little bit deeper. I want to look at what drives people and help them, yeah, basically transform instead of just, yeah, change habits. And there's so many books around changing habits, changing behavior. And that's all short-term stuff in my view. It's if you want to lose, some people say, "Oh, I want to lose 10 kilos." If you don't know why you're doing it, then you might lose 10 kilos, but next year you've got those 10 kilos probably stacked
And
on again.
plus, yeah,
Yeah.
and plus kilos.
So, yeah. What I do is I use a tool called the Being Profile, and it really measures yeah, what drives people. So how people are being, not how people are doing. So we are human beings, not human doings. So I look at that part, and yeah, sometimes it's confronting for people to see that they don't have a healthy relationship with courage or with responsibility, for example. But that's the only way you can change is yeah, by confronting, yeah, your demons almost, and by, yeah, going a little bit deeper and making sure that you want to actually get out of your comfort zone to change.
Yeah, I love it. Beautiful. And so a lot of inner work, as you say, going a diving deep and really finding out the human being and the being aspect of being human, which is really cool. So are we still online at the moment as well, or do we work, have you switched back since COVID to working like in person?
No, I do both, but I would say that most of the work I do is online
Yeah.
because, yeah, it has opened up so many possibilities to work with different types of people. I worked with a lady from the States, from she was running a charity in New Mexico, and yeah, so we had a number of sessions, and she was working 80 hours a week, didn't get to spend much time with her son. And after a number of sessions, we cut it in half. So she was able to start at 9, finish around 5 o'clock. And it's quite fulfilling when it happens because the thing she mentioned to me was, this has changed, really changed my life because now I get to spend time with my son again. And he said, she said that when she would come home, he often wouldn't actually approach her because he would say to his dad, "Oh, mum is grumpy again." And now she's actually spending time with him and
Yeah.
riding, what is it, the off-road bikes in the forest with him. Yeah, and that lights my fire when I can do that. I can help people with that.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. And as you say, like being online does give you that like outreach. You can speak to people in America, in Europe again, and
Yeah.
help as many people around the world. And how do you go about like acquiring the customers then? So like in terms of marketing, what are you finding that's most effective for you? What channels and methods are working well?
So I do a lot of, yeah, outreach on LinkedIn. I post a number of times a week, put videos on there. What I found is that a lot of people put a lot of content on LinkedIn, but with the advent of AI, it's easy to put written content online through social media. But not many people are willing to put their face in a video online as well. So I'm trying to do that so that, yeah, that differentiates me a little bit from other people. And not that other people don't do it, but it's more there are plenty of coaches that I know that are not comfortable, yeah, creating a
Yeah,
video and putting it online. But I think that's how people get to know you as well.
I agree.
And then I get a lot of referrals through my network. And yeah, so I'm networking all the time with different types of people. And yeah, that's how I get most of my clients and through some free online workshops that I run on a monthly basis. I ran one last week, communicating with confidence and assertiveness. And yeah, to my surprise, there were people from all over the world attending as well.
Really
And
cool.
I had only advertised it in Australia, but I got a couple of people from Canada, the US as well. And to be honest, I don't know how they found me. That's something to investigate.
That's really cool. You're doing something well so far because if you're
Yeah.
founding and you don't know. And yeah, and a lot of people are not that comfortable filming videos, but I agree with you. I think it builds a lot of authenticity and rapport online with people. They want to know you, they want to connect with you. So why should you not put yourself out there? It is different and you are different, so you should show it off. Amazing. And do you ever run like any form of advertisements to help build traffic and build that consistency in lead flow? Or is it purely like organic outreach at this point?
It's a pure organic outreach. At the start, I've tried a little bit of Google AdWords and things like that. I didn't get much out of that at that stage, but there was no strategy behind it either. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but it didn't work for me at that time.
Yeah. Just having the strategy behind you, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And then I suppose, so what does the next 6 to 12 months like have in store for you? Are you looking to scale? Are you working on any new projects? What is the goal for you with the company?
I'm always looking to get more clients. But what I really want to do is create some programs as well. So 6 to 12 week programs for not-for-profit leaders. And I've run some a couple of years ago, and I'm going to reinvigorate them again because they were quite successful. The people that attended got a lot out of it. And it also created a little bit of community in the not-for-profit space here in Australia. So
Yeah.
people that, especially for emerging not-for-profit leaders, they were able to bounce ideas off each other and even collaborate with each other as well. And that's what I've always mentioned to people that join the program. And say, it's not only about the content, it's also about creating new connections. And you might be doing things that somebody else doesn't do and the other way around, so you can learn from each other as well.
Yeah, that's so nice. And as camaraderie is such a good thing to have, especially when you're in those high achieving roles such as leaders, CEOs. It's nice to have a group of people around you that may be going through the same struggles and you can just
Yeah.
talk to and be friends with. Amazing. And in terms of taking that next step, building the programs, where are you finding the biggest challenge for yourself?
It's finding the time to actually develop the programs and in the outreach as well, obviously, to fill them. And that's always a struggle for, let's say, small businesses. You have to deliver, you have to do marketing, you have to run the business. So there's a lot of different things that need to be done. And I talk to my clients about not having too many things on their plate because you can't. People say, what do you want to focus on? And they come up with 10 different things. So you can't focus on 10 things. If you focus on one or maybe two things, and that's it. And the same as goes for me. People sometimes ask me, so do you have a coach as well? And I said, I've got multiple coaches for
Yeah.
different things to keep me on track as well. Yeah, I always use Michael Jordan as an example. Michael
Okay.
Jordan had a lot of different types of coaches. He was the best basketball player of his time, and he couldn't do it alone. And that's for any top performer. You
So
can't do
true.
it alone. You can see that with tennis players who sack their coach and then they don't have a coach, then you see them dive in the rankings quite rapidly generally.
No,
Uh,
so true. All coaches have coaches, even not from the sporting world, but even if you go to and it should they'll all have a coach because you understand once I think you're in that world, you know how important it is to have somebody that's looking after your brain as well as your body. People only
yeah.
think and relate to it to sports, but it's such an eye-opening world and such a great journey. And Peter, I have one final question to ask you before we log out. So if you could go back in time to a younger self, maybe at the start of your own entrepreneurship journey, and you could only leave yourself with one piece of advice moving forward. Something you know now, but that you didn't know then. What would you say to yourself?
An interesting question. I have actually thought about it over the last probably 2 years. When I started the IT company with my business partner, I wish I would have had a coach that used the being profile that I use with us so that we could see ourselves and each other as well at a deeper level and not just at the service level. So we did things like DISC and what was it, HBDI and a couple
Yeah.
of other tools, which were thinking preferences, behavioral focused assessment tools. But I think if we would have looked at, okay, what's our relationship with courage or with partnership or with assertiveness,
Yeah.
then we would have been more successful with the company that we were running, I think. So it in the end, it all is about if I would have known how important it is to go a little bit deeper, then that would have made a massive difference, I think.
Yeah. Amazing. And Peter, thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing your incredible journey and insight with us. Where can our listeners reach out to work with you or connect with you if they would like to do
They
so?
can find me on LinkedIn if they type in Peter Dykema, so Peter, and then Dykema on LinkedIn. Look, in Australia, there's only one in Australia. There are plenty in the Netherlands, but in Australia, there's only one. Now, they can go to CSU Coaching, so that's www.sisu.com.au. Or what I do as well, I help separated fathers navigating the challenge of separation, and then can go to theseparationcoach.com.au.
Amazing. Beautiful. And Peter Dykema, thank you so much for joining me today. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to go and check out Peter and all the wonderful work that he's doing. And do not forget to subscribe to Founders Future via wherever you listen to your favourite podcasts. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're really looking to scale your business and you want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with one of our team and discover how we went from $0 to $30 million per year in less than 3 years. But until then, keep on climbing and we will see you on the next one.